Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the DCEU Daily. So quite a while back, I saw a test screening for the Flash movie. I'm going to attempt to give you as much detail as possible without getting myself or the channel in trouble. This is a fully completed movie with music from Benjamin Whishaw, I think that's how you say his name, and full completed VFX. The VFX is a chef's kiss. It's absolutely dynamic and beautiful. You could tell this was Zack Snyder's VFX team. The music by Benjamin was superior to what he composed for the first Shazam. It's really brilliant. This movie has a gee whiz quality I have not seen in a comic book movie for a very long time. If you're a geek, a nerd, or a DC fanboy or girl, or however you identify as, this is an amazing film. This film is highly enjoyable, and I'm so proud and happy I got the privilege of seeing it. Also, with everything I've said about Ezra Miller's behaviour, I was never taken out of the movie knowing how he's behaved. His performance is brilliant, and yes, this is a much superior multiverse movie than Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This film does something that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness does not do. It focuses on its central character. You really feel at the beginning of the movie the loss that this guy has gone through. His mother was murdered. His father is wrongfully imprisoned for her murder. And he feels it. And he's desperate to put it right. And at the beginning of the film, he really doesn't know how to do it until he talks to someone, I think we all know who that is, who convinces him to do what he did in a previous movie. Ben Affleck is correct. This is the best Batfleck stuff I have ever seen. Better than anything you saw in BVS or Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut. There's a sequence in the first act of the movie, and it's absolutely sensational. It's fantastic. It's stunning. If you're a Batfleck fan, however you feel about the Snyderverse, you should see this movie if we ever get to see this movie. I don't know if you will ever get to see this movie as is how I saw it. So great music, great VFX, and the first act is brilliant. I've seen pictures of this costume, and I debated on a live last night that maybe I preferred Snyder's costume. I prefer the costume in the Flash movie. When you see it on the big screen, it's very, very different. I know there's a lot of things you already know about this movie because of leaks and stuff like this. The performances are brilliant. There is not a weak character or actor in this movie. I'd like to give a shout out as well for Sasha Calle's Supergirl. I won't say what Supergirl she is, but she's brilliant. She's a bit like a battered woman who grows in confidence and gets more heroic and braver as the film goes on. You'll all be desperate to hear about Michael Keaton's Batman. Again, I'm not going to tell you if he's the Batman from Batman 89 and Batman 92, but you can't tell that this man is 70 years old. His energy and his dynamic movement in this film is absolutely brilliant. His performance, it's like we're watching Batman 89 and Batman 92 is beautiful. His relationship with Barry Allen and the chemistry between Michael Keaton and Ezra Miller is brilliant. And if I can go back to the beginning of the film with the chemistry between Ezra Miller and Ben Affleck, that's there in the Snyder Cut. It's even there, by God, in Justice League, and it's here brilliant. It's done brilliantly. It's a bit like an older brother and a younger brother relationship, a father and a son. He really is that to Ezra Miller's Barry Allen. And I must admit, in the scenes between each other, in the first act, it's very emotional for me to see it because I am a fan of what I've seen since BVS and in the Snyder Cut. So that was so empowering to see those two together. So as I've said earlier, the multiversal element is so much more superior to what we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It's absolutely brilliant. The way he travels from Earth 1 to the new timeline is absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't say there's horror elements in the movie, but there are elements in the movie that make you jump. You see this, this Flashpoint universe, and it did feel like that shocking moment in Back to the Future 2 when Marty McFly, arrives in the alternate 1985. It's utterly confusing for Barry Allen, and he is confused and he is frightened. As I say, Ezra Miller's performance is so very, very good. And there are many, many cameos in this film. Not as many as we were led to believe, but the cameos that you see are really good. And I'm not going to tell you who's in the movie and who's not in the movie. There is a post-credit scene at the end of this movie. You have heard about this. I'm not going to tell you, who it is. You already know who it is. I want to be careful here. But it definitely sets up Final Crisis. So what's the plan here? What was the original plan from Walter Hamada? So the idea is, via this Flash movie, at the end of the movie, they set up a brand new universe, a brand new timeline for the DCEU. This is a timeline where certain characters will go missing. And the new characters they're setting up with these brand new movies, if we ever get to see them, this is the timeline, the brand new timeline they will be in. And it is my guess that down the line, they will set up this Final Crisis movie where the whole of the multiverse will team up and fight Darkseid and the New Gods. I guess this is what they're setting up with this movie. But they do set up a new timeline. It's an interesting revelation when he goes back for Barry Allen, because he can remember everything. When Andy Muschietti told us everything will be remembered and nothing will be forgotten, he's dead right. And this is a little spoiler. Barry Allen remembers everything, but the people in this new timeline, they don't remember the original timeline. So whatever's not in this new timeline, they cannot remember this, but Barry can. So you can imagine that. Waking up one day and meeting a bunch of new people, and some people that you knew, your friends and your family, weren't there anymore. This is the kind of thing they are attempting to do. But Barry comes to terms with this, and as I say, the post-credit scene is brilliant, and it is a reverse of what we saw in Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I do believe that the characters that are, let's just say, missing by the end of this movie will come back in a Final Crisis movie. And this is what Walter Hamada was setting up. I love this movie. It's brilliant because, as I say, it's a fully completed movie. I got a buzz. So all the negativity I was feeling for a very long time is out the window now. But I've been thinking long and hard about this because, as I say, last night, because I saw this film a while back, but when I was doing my live, I was saying, well, I prefer the other one. But then I thought about it, and I thought about this test screening, and I thought, actually, the brand new costume looks a lot better. But I still love the Snyder costume, by the way. So, yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I would recommend this movie if we ever get to see it. But here's the thing. We don't know what David Zaslav and Discovery are thinking about. Will they go back and remake this movie? Has Ezra Miller been removed? Thinking about it now for this video, I want everyone to experience this movie. Whether you will or not is another question for another time. This has been the DCEU Daily with me, Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends And your wives, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. And I'll see you again soon in the next video. Until we see each other again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.